Hi guys, Ben from My Cycling Coach. Hope you're doing well, hope you're having a great day. Just out getting some fresh air this afternoon. And I wanted to talk to you because I was speaking to a client the other day and they were telling me that before they started working with me at My Cycling Coach, they would go through their week often getting regular headaches, finding that their energy levels were always quite low, despite actually doing a pretty good job with their fueling and nutrition. And this was then actually having a detrimental effect on their training, as they would get on the bike and just find that their performance was always not where they wanted it to be. They weren't quite hitting the power numbers that they wanted to, and it actually resulted in them really getting fatigued quite quickly and also suffering from cramp when they were on the bike. So when I get this sort of feedback, my first question tends to be, what's your hydration like? What's your basic fluid intake throughout the day? And this is because hydration plays such a key factor in our performance when exercising, getting those adaptations from the training, but also just in our day-to-day life. If we're not taking on enough fluid, then you are going to suffer from things like headaches and just really feeling like you're generally low in energy. And this is because, when we're dehydrated, the heart actually stops pumping as much blood around the body. Which then means when we're exercising that we're not getting as much oxygen to those working muscles, and it also slows down the flushing out of those metabolic waste products, so that lactic acid and the damage that's being done to the muscle when we're exercising. If we're dehydrated, those waste products don't get flushed out of the muscle as quickly, which is where you then will start to see that onset of fatigue occurring quicker when exercising or doing your training and rides. So, as a general rule of thumb, you may feel this sometimes in your, as you go through your week or doing your training, maybe not taking on quite as much fluid as you should be. So as a general rule of thumb, and there are a few things that can affect this in terms of, age, body type, height, weight, and gender. But generally, for females, you want to be taking on around 2 to 3 litres of fluid as your basic intake for the day, and males want to be in that 3 to 4 litres. This is a sort of basic intake for a training day, really. The other factor that then will obviously affect this is whether you're doing a training ride or not. And obviously at this time of year, we do tend to move quite a bit of our riding inside, may start being done on the turbo. So another thing that can affect this is our sweat rate. Now, you may have noticed if you do ride a bit indoors on the turbo that there's a good chance that you actually sweat a lot more when you're on the turbo trainer. So it's really important that we're replacing that lost fluid through taking on, as a general rule of thumb, indoors we want to be looking at between 750 millilitres to a litre of water that we're using to replace that lost fluid. Out on the road, at this time of year it's a bit colder, so ambient temperature may mean it's obviously going to be lower, so you probably want to be between 500 millilitres and 750 millilitres that you're using to replace that lost fluid. However, it is important to remember at this time of year as well, if you do go out on the road, you do tend to wrap up more, so you can actually find that you do still sweat quite a lot. So just generally a bottle an hour, whether you're indoors or outdoors, is going to allow you to really maintain performance, stay hydrated, and avoid all of those things that are associated with dehydration. Just thought I'd share that with you this afternoon, guys. I was speaking to a client about it, and hydration is really key to making sure that we can, keep exercising, maintaining our performance on the bike, and also maximise those adaptations that we're getting from our training, but also just in day-to-day life. If we're not hydrating enough, then you will find that you may start to get headaches and feeling low in energy. So make sure you're drinking enough. Yeah, guys, if you found that useful, please just drop a like on the post, follow, share, subscribe, and as always, if you did find it useful, I'd love to hear from you with any comments. Have a great rest of your day, enjoy your riding, and speak soon.